This Mother's Day has been especially emotional for people in Brownsville and Haywood County as that community copes with the violent death of 17-year-old Satura Hayes. The Haywood High School student was shot to death Friday while at a prom picture event in a popular Brownsville City Park. 4 other people were wounded as investigators now look for those responsible. And today, hundreds gathered in downtown Brownsville as that casket bearing Hayes arrived. WREG's Mike Sirianni takes us there for those moments.
Well, right now it's quiet in Brownsville, but just a few hours ago, this area in front of the courthouse was just packed with people, shoulder to shoulder, people of all ages, here to honor 17-year-old Satura Hayes. Emotional cries echo through downtown Brownsville as a mortuary van carrying the casket of Satura Hayes passes by. Hundreds line the streets around the courthouse in a show of love for the Haywood High School student shot to death Friday while at a prom picture event at Webbank's Passive Park. 4 other people were shot and taken to a local hospital. Sunday's gathering downtown a show of support for Hayes' family as well.
We shouldn't be here today doing this, and it's just senseless. It's not called for, but we want to support the family in any way that we can during this time of need. I can't just tell you how much it bothers me and everyone in this community that we have to be here today for such a thing as this.
The TBI is heading up the multi-agency investigation that began Friday night when gunfire abruptly interrupted a yearly event that has never experienced violence.
Every year people come out here to take their pictures for prom. I did it. It's just, it should have been a very safe place for them. It's just really sad.
Sunday, on Mother's Day, prayers for strength and renewal go up with a certainty change will come.
I think a lot of people are saying that Brownsville's no good or that we're a lost cause or whatever, but I would beg to differ, and I disagree with that. And I think that God is getting ready to move big time here.
For your news leader in Brownsville, Mike Sirianni, WREG News Channel 3.
What's going on, everybody? I appreciate you guys pulling up today. We got to talk about it, man, because you have liberals losing their minds over what happened out in Tennessee last week with the redistricting. You know, I'm sure you guys are probably sick and tired of hearing about Justin Pearson, the fake Malcolm Martin, ex Luther, the King, the Third. I'm sure you guys are tired of this guy, but we got to continue to talk about him just so we can drive the point home, because it's unfortunate because this particular situation, and not to sensationalize, you know, because I think this is very, very sad. A young lady, the age of 17, Satura Hayes, you know, loses her life. But this is District 9 out in Tennessee that's been Democrat ran for 22 years. Well, 51 years, but 22 years by this one individual, with very little competition in the district. And I was scouring the internet trying to find Justin Pearson speaking on this situation. Maybe he would have gone down there, you know, to, spend some time with the family, things of that nature. And crickets, nothing. But this guy is all over the place, cosplaying as a Baptist minister. And I want you guys to see this because the hypocrisy that comes from the left is so unbearable. It's so ridiculous. And to be honest with you, it's unnerving. And when situations like this happen, it happens all across the country. You never hear anything from Black Lives Matter. You never hear anything from the Urban League, the NAACP. You never hear anything. But these people were quick to tell you that, hey, it's racism and we got to have, you know, Democratic representation or, you know, Black folks have to be able to support the Democrat Party, when in all actuality, it's been a net negative for the people that have been forced into these districts, and they don't have a say, a real say in change in these communities. I want you guys to see this clip from Justin Pearson speaking with Reverend Al Sharpton. I mean, you know, it is what it is, but I do want to say this. I want to send my condolences to the Hayes family and, you know, all those high school students. You know, I know they're going through it right now. And this is so unfortunate, man. It really is. And again, I hate to sensationalize this, but we got to talk about it, man. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's go.
Hey, guys, he can walk out with him. Let him walk with him. Let him walk with him.
Let him go. Let Rep Pearson go. Let Rep Pearson. What is wrong with you? What the is wrong with you? You stupid.
First, how is your brother first? And tell me what exactly was happening there to warrant such a response, and what do you want to be done about it?
Yeah, so the state troopers were kicking everyone out of the gallery. My brother and two of our friends and family, really, Lauren and Allison, refused. They stayed seated in the gallery. They weren't being a disruption. And the Speaker of the
But if the state troopers are saying you guys got to go, they are causing problems because they decided to stay.
House had commanded, in essence, that the troopers remove everyone. I said that I would walk my brother down after some troopers had hemmed him up, and the supervisor had agreed to that, but one of the troopers refused to listen. And this is what happens in this moment and era that we're in of Jim Crow 2.0, where white supremacy believes that it can exercise its power and authority over us.
No, I think it's a situation to where you all believe that you can just do whatever you want to do. You are above the law. Think about this, man. This is a switching, of situations. And then again, it's really not, because Democrats, whether you black or white, it seems like they are utilizing the same tactics.
Us agency even over our own bodies. But now my brother, he was detained with Allison and Lauren, but they all are out and they're continuing the fight.
All right. Well, Senator Jones, Alabama's current Republican governor, Kay Ivey, just called a special session to adopt new voting maps, despite earlier saying she would not enact a plan to eliminate one of the state's 2 Democratic seats. Now she's saying that, quote, for too long, federal courts forced states like Alabama into a no-win situation at the hands of activists who want us to draw maps that discriminate against our own citizens based on race, unquote.
Images that I wanted to talk to you about some of the members, Republicans from the state legislature, kind of laughing at protesters, making disparaging remarks. Can you tell us a little bit about what the atmosphere was like as this was going down?
Yeah, I mean, it was very difficult. It was very challenging. God bless the organizers like the Equity Alliance and Memphis for All and Turk. There were some people who really did so much work to make sure that the peaceful protesters who fight for democracy showed up. But the hatred and the vitriol of my Republican colleagues, many of them would have just turned your stomach. I mean, it really, I always have wondered what happened to the hatred that would hang someone on a poplar tree and throw a picnic. And that hatred may not show up in that same way, but it didn't get destroyed. It dissipated into institutions of power. And yesterday, what you saw was that hatred on full display, with members of the House of Representatives wearing Trump flags, to your point, laughing.
Is that hatred?
And snickering and pointing at people and saying horrible things and getting in people's faces. I mean, it was reminiscent to what you would expect between clashes between the Klan and the White Citizens Council against those who were fighting for justice, freedom, and equality. And that is where we are today. And to anyone who wants to say, well, that's not who Tennessee is, or that's not who America is, this is who America is. This is America. This is happening right now. And if you are just hoping and praying and not engaged actively in resisting and fighting and speaking up, then you are part of the problem. Silent complicity is complicity. You can't just post on Facebook and Instagram, right? Go send those emails, make those phone calls, fight for this democracy, fight for our communities, fight for our country, because white supremacy is emerging in this moment with a level of vitriol and hate that is destroying our country and destroying our nation at its very seams.
This guy's a clown, man. He should be ashamed of himself, but he obviously has no shame. And it seems like the Democrat Party, who are definitely on the ropes at this point, this is all they have. This is all they have. When they don't get their way, they get the name calling, and they get to invoking, white supremacy and so forth and so on, when it's their party that implemented, all the things that they say, was negative and terrible about this country. It's the party that this guy's a part of. It's the party that this guy has been supporting. It's the party that this dude's willing to obviously lay his life down for. is also the party that has implemented, all the things that he says that he's fighting against. I mean, it's the craziest thing ever. In that district out there, and we talked about this yesterday and ad nauseum, but the district that he is competing for, which is District 9, he is going to compete against a Black woman who happens to be a Republican by the name of Charlotte Bergman. He's going to compete against her. He thought that he was a shoo-in for the seat. He's just next in line and he's not going to have to compete. And now he's upset that he's going to have to stand on his policy, his agenda, and his ideas. And he's not going to get by just saying Trump bad, Republican bad, the state's racist. You're not going to get by on that. And there's a lot of brothers out there calling this foolishness out.
The Democrat Party is in disarray, and they're pulling out every stop to try to scare their voter base that some kind of magical oppression is hovering over them. And then you look at Tennessee. They are losing their minds in Tennessee. You look at people like Justin Pearson, who is a clown in blackface, okay? Because one minute he started as a well-talking Black person, college educated. Now all of a sudden, he's Malcolm X and Martin Luther King had a child. This is hilarious. And one thing I do know is that Democrats, they buy and they dress up their constituents. The people that they select and put out there, like the Jasmine Crockett's and the Hakeem Jeffries and the Justin Pearsons, these people are handcrafted by the Democrat Party because they play the part well. They love to push victimhood, and then they always gotta act as though they are under oppression, because that is what sells in the Democrat Party. That is what wins votes. Okay, you look at people like Kamala Harris, who was not Black. She was an Indian. Now all of a sudden she's a Black woman, and she has all these different accents. This is that you see. Okay, so for people like Justin Pearson to be there calling state troopers boy, can you imagine if a white state trooper called him a boy? Oh my God, the city of Memphis would be burned to the ground. This is hypocrisy. These people are jokes.
He's absolutely right. It is hypocrisy. These people are jokes. And Justin Pearson is one of the biggest clowns that I've seen in politics in quite some time. I thought Jasmine Crockett took the cake, but no, this guy has definitely taken that mantle. He is number one. He is the number one Democrat clown out there. Simple as that. And if you don't believe me, I want you guys to see this.
God sent table flipping you and you and you and you. Yes, God sent you to flip the tables of poverty. God sent you to flip the tables of destitution. God sent you to tip the tables of the attacks on humanity. God sent you. 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 God sent you.
Are you kidding me?
God sent you. God brought you out of the cosmos to flip the tables of this whole world. God called you out of heaven to flip the tables of this whole world. So no weapon formed against you. So no weapon. So no weapon. This whole world. So no weapon formed against you will be able to prosper. No weapon formed against you will be able to prosper. So speak on, fight on, believe on, flip the tables, 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 let them talk, flip the tables. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the day.
Oh, this dude's a clown, man. I'm telling you. Yo,
all the days.
Jesus is black. We could also say Jesus is gay. Jesus is gay. Hey, Jesus is gay. Hey, Jesus is gay. Is gay. Is gay. And any other identity being humiliated.
Yeah. That's Justin Pearson, ladies and gentlemen. I had to let this thing play out. It's hilarious. It's comical. This dude is a performer. He is an actor. He is a phony. He is fake. He is the true definition of an American sellout. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. He's cooked. He's done for. This is the definition of I've sold it all to the devil. I've sold it all. This is the definition right here.
Can someone please tell Justin Pearson to stop making a fool of himself? Now, I'm fully aware individuals are going to not like what I have to say, and they're going to sit there and say, oh, I'm the one who's tap dancing, right? Well, he's literally tap dancing for the left. He does not act like this normally. This is not how he used to be. If you look back to not even 10 years ago, he was acting far differently than he is today. And of course, you're seeing the pictures come out now. He's standing up to someone who's keeping him from being in this meeting where they're talking about redistricting in Tennessee. Okay. Fun fact, spoiler alert, he was not supposed to be in there anyway. That was a Senate meeting. He is not in the Senate, so why was he trying to be in there in the first place? This guy is a couple screws loose, right? But this is a modern example of what leftists expect black men, particularly, to act like. Overly emotional, completely bereft of any sort of critical thinking skills whatsoever, and performative to such a degree, honestly, it's very embarrassing. Not just to him, but to others of us out here as well, because people look at us and they think, oh, that must be how all black men must act now. And nothing could be further from the truth. So if anyone out there can do this, please tell Justin Pearson to stop making a fool of himself and many other individuals by association.
Shout out to this brother. He's absolutely right. Please. He won't, but please. And he'll continue to get on large platforms. He was on the Abby Phillips show maybe a week or two ago. He's going to continue to get propped up because he's a clown. And that's what the Democrat Party does. That's what the left does. They prop up clowns. They don't want real people having real conversations about the issues. They have zero interest in that. And that's why multitude of interviews, you didn't hear Justin Pearson speak anything in reference to young Hayes, Mrs. Hayes. No conversation around her. And again, I have to ask, where's Black Lives Matter? Where's the national NAACP? Where's the Urban League? You know, where are the people online, screaming this young lady's name? Where are the people that, know who did this? Where are they at to come out and say, hey, man, we know who did this. This is who it is. This is where he is. It's all performative, man. And it just goes to let you know that they don't actually care about Black lives. They don't care about Black people. They don't care about the Black district, because it really isn't about that. They don't care about quote unquote Black representation, and they definitely don't care about the uplifting of those people in that community. The only thing that they care about is maintaining power. And this situation disrupts their ability to take power. That's all this is about. This Pearson character, he thought that he was next up, and he realized, man, I got to work now. And Charlotte Bergman is the front runner. They're saying she has a 75% chance of winning congressional district number 9. And when that happens, lo and behold, you can bet your bottom dollar that they're going to say that this Black woman, who happens to be a Republican, being in that seat is white supremacy and it's racism. You can bet your bottom dollar. But I wanted to end the show with this information here in reference young Satara Hayes.
I prayed for the family and the loss, but it's just too close to home.
A night meant for pictures to capture prom memories suddenly shattered by gunfire. Neighbors say the street was filled with more than 100 students' vehicles. Quickly, it became filled with police in minutes. Investigators say the students had gathered here at Webb Banks Passive Park Friday evening, dressed for prom, taking photos, celebrating a milestone. Then shots rang out. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation says 5 people were hit. Satura Hayes died from her injuries.
I didn't know her, but I think my daughter was a friend of hers.
4 others were hurt and rushed to the hospital. 1 remains in critical condition. Investigators are still working to piece together exactly what happened. Early information suggests there may have been multiple groups involved, and authorities are looking into whether this was a possible drive-by shooting. In the aftermath, Haywood High School prom was canceled.
It's just senseless to me. I think kids should be able to enjoy themselves, and, especially at a time of...
Right, and this is senseless. And yet you won't hear anything from a Democrat. You won't hear anything from Justin Pearson in reference to this situation. Crickets. And you can bet your bottom dollar that if they do say something, it will be around trying to stifle those law-abiding citizens' Second Amendment rights. I'll bet any amount of money that these people that were involved in this horrific incident are not law-abiding citizens, obviously. But I would assume that the firearms that they have, are not lawful. They were not lawfully gained, so forth and so on. But that's all Democrats have. When something like this does happen, they want to go after law-abiding citizens, like law-abiding citizens who, operate lawfully, utilizing their Second Amendment right, are out here just committing all types of crazy crimes. And that's not the case. But we do know that Justin Pearson has been known for going to DC to speak on gun reform. I mean, this dude's a liberal whack job through and through. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts on any of this? Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn those notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. That link's in the description box below. And as always, keep God first, stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you guys next time. Peace.
It is God who arms me with strength. Yeah, I'm battle ready. He trains my hands for battle. My heart stays steady. But thanks be to God, he gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, it can't live in me. I was down to the dirt, red clay on my shoes, old pain in my shirt, oh so bruised. In the Lord hit my chest, kicked air from my breath, put power in my step.